is a bigger animal. He actually picked his back foot up quite nicely. And if we didn't have this shoeing stock at Tiller's, or this hoof trimming chute, I would have tried trimming his foot as is. I mean, Tim said, well, it's been a while since I picked up his feet, but he was quite good about it. What this shoeing stock does is it supports the animal, because cattle have the tendency to sort of drop down and lean on you, especially as they get older and bigger.
Yes, I think they are.
And especially if they figure out if I put weight on this person, they'll give up. So the shoeing stock is nice because it supports the animal while you're trimming a foot. The only thing is you have to tie a foot up in this. Sometimes they don't like that. Especially if they've never had it down.
Big show bulls.
Especially him.
We've got a bunch of woodlands. We've got 40 acres and about 8 or 9 of under control. And they was going to get that well.
Well, actually, I wrote an article. Some of you have read the Rural Heritage magazine. I wrote an article on shoeing and oxen and trimming feet. And there are different styles of shoeing stocks. And one of the nicest ones that I've seen has a quick release mechanism with a steel snap that you just sort of snap the foot down, and has lots of padding that this friend of mine designed. This is pretty coarse. I mean, it's not going to be comfortable for me to strap his foot down on this wooden block any more comfortable than it would be to somebody to tighten my leg down on this wooden block. So this isn't the most comfortable shoeing stock I've seen. The advantage of the shoeing stock is the animal doesn't fall down, and it makes it easy for people. Okay? You can design them more with the animal in mind. More with like a padded or some type of wooden block that's shaped to fit the leg. This rope isn't going to be ideal, but I think we can make it work. Is there any what?
Kind of plans somewhere?
I've got Bud's plans for a metal one.
You've got Bud's plans? I actually, Bill Speeden last year asked the same question, and I took some pictures and made some rough drawings, but this friend of mine has the nicest one. I ought to.
Yeah, I made a shoot from it. It works. I got pictures of it in the picture book over there.
Okay.
UW extension.
See what we can do here.
Would you mention the benefits of cotton rope over hemp?
Well, this is a cotton rope, and it's quite soft. I also doubled it because you can rope burn them pretty easily if they start kicking. I actually would prefer a much bigger cotton rope, but we don't have one, like an 1.5 or 2-inch cotton rope that's soft, and when you pull the foot up and tie it down, even if they kick and thrash, it's not going to cut. The hemp rope, I mean, even just grabbing it, it's rough. A nylon rope would be worse. This is cotton, and it's a little bit softer. So we're going to pull his foot up with that. Tim's going to help me. And we're going to tie his foot and see how we do. And so actually, why don't you come on this? Let's try to pull his foot right up there. And actually, I mean, if you want to lift this foot, want to go easy on him and same. Use your hand as much as you can to sort of support him like that. I just sort of doubled it just
Down further?
yeah, below his. And you can even double wrap it up again if you want. Just to lift it up.
Excuse me, could you just a little bit. I just need a little crack.
There, seems good. Sam! We're not going to tie it, we're just going to hold his foot. As I was saying, the hoof wall will often grow faster than the sole. So here we see the hoof wall is long on Abby's animals that had already been trimmed down and rasped. His feet are actually in pretty good condition. We'll just nip down the hoof wall. Most of what you take off toward the toe.
Have you snapped that many pictures?
Careful.
Making a statement.
You gotta do that whenever they're nervous.
Yeah.
So basically I've used the nippers to sort of nip down that hoof wall. I'll use the rasp to shorten it up a bit. Oops.
About done.
Well, we're not quite done. Could be.
Come here, I'll take
To
them.
get them in there.
I can take them faster. Come here.
What percentage of their animal body weight's on the front too instead of the back?
Well, I'll tell you. Probably like 55 or 60% on the front. But a dairy cow is different. These modern dairy cows with a huge udder, they actually, I believe, put more weight on their back feet because they've got this udder maybe 100 pounds, 150 pounds on their back.
Back feet tend to go before the front feet, seem to me too.
On a dairy cow?
Yeah. Horses, they used to say 2/3 of the weight's on the front.
I forgot that. My dad used to tell me.
Yeah, I think he said 2/3. Well, you've got the weight of the head and neck on the front feet, which you don't have on the back.
I didn't remember whether 75% of it would be 66 and 2/3.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Sam, whoop,
Mine just went dead.
Mine's been making noises.
Let me get behind. I'm gonna go stick the area in front.
Rebecca can end up wind up 100% of their weight on the sling and they put themselves down. And
I got a picture of it.
I've already walked
Now, if these are way overgrown,
Sam, whoop, whoop. Oh. Okay, we'll put him down. We'll make him think there. We let him down.
if these are way overgrown, would you take them back slower, or would you just take them right back to where they belong?
If my fingernail was 4 inches long, I could take it back to the same length as if it was 1/4 of an inch overgrown.
Okay.
I've often heard that too, whether
enough that I could do
quick
A big old cow like, or an animal like Lewis with big feet, the quick is bigger, but it's still only so big. So if Lewis had feet this long, I would take him back to a normal length for Lewis. Now Lewis has a different foot than this one. His quick is going to be bigger, so I can't take him as short as this little animal.
How do you know where it is?
Yeah, right. How do you know where
That's sort of something that comes with experience. I had a fellow, actually I went to a hoof trimming. It was sort of a professional development thing for hoof trimmers in Florida. And there was a fellow that said, you go 3 1/4 inches. That'll work for all cattle. Well, a Chianina has a foot about that big and it's about that long. I'll guarantee if that guy went 3 1/4 inches and started cutting, he'd hit blood and it hurt. You have to look at the size of the animal's foot. Now, this fellow was used to working with Holstein dairy cows. They're all about the same size. Okay, Jerseys and Guernseys are small. Shorthorns are different. A 10-year-old ox is different. A Chianina ox has huge feet. So you really have to take the size of the animal into consideration. Okay.
Are the walls about the same thickness in all ages?
No, they get, well, these, some of the breeds are bigger, heavier hooves, like the Chianina. Yep.
Are his feet sore? Is that why he's standing like that?
No, he's sore because he doesn't want to.
He knows what's coming?
No, this is what cattle do. This is why you put them in a shoeing stock. Because once you lift the foot up and hold it up for a few minutes, they lay down. So if I was holding him, he'd be laying right on the ground by now. All right.
Sit back and relax.
Sit back and relax.
What are you guys doing?
Piece of cake.
We haven't